Hi there, I'm Eden. This is going to be a video about how I rejoined the furry fandom after a pretty long hiatus. And first, a little bit about before I left. I was a furry for a few years in, middle high school, and then quit because of a partner that, was actually grooming me, and I left the fandom because I didn't want to be embarrassed about it anymore. And so I was on a hiatus for several years after being really active on Amino and Toy House and things like that. And I just recently, within the past year, started really trying to get back into it. So right now, my main social media is Tumblr. I'm Eden Dog on Tumblr. And I also am Eden Dog on Toy House and Art Fight. This will be my first year participating in Art Fight. But yeah, this is going to be why I rejoined and sort of the different boundaries I've set for myself now. But yeah, one of the biggest things when I rejoined was, I realized I'm in it for me and no one else. I'm not going to stay for others. I'm not going to leave for others. It's completely dependent on my relationship with the fandom. And that's the only thing that I really care about at this point. So I set boundaries with how I interact with the fandom. I let myself use the block button freely. I don't use it all the time, but I have given myself permission to be well, if someone comments something I don't like, I don't have to see them anymore. I limit how much I force myself to make art. I kind of only do it if I want to, because my big thing in the fandom is wanting to make art. That's sort of my place in the fandom, is I'm not the one just buying, I'm not going to conventions all the time. My big thing is being an artist online. So that's why I mostly engage with the art communities, things like selling my art on Ko-fi. Ko-fi Eden Dog is my Ko-fi. Everything will be linked in the description should I ever choose to post this. But another thing that really made it so that I wanted to come back is because it was such a good expression of my art, gender, and storytelling. I thrive on the ability to express myself via my art. Right now, the screen has my character Slip, who is very new as far as named character, but I've had for about a year that I made that long ago. And being able to make weird characters like this and give them their own lore is sort of an escape for me, and it's a healthy escape. Being able to make art and stories of things that I think are cool. And biggest thing is, even outside of this fandom, I'm an artist. I'm an acrylic painter for the most part. So I don't actually get that much attention for my acrylic painting besides friends and family, because the greater art community isn't about supporting artists. It's usually about collecting the best art. And while I think that my art is of quality, like my traditional painting, it's nothing to write home about for most people. I'm sure my partner would disagree. But the furry community is one that really supports artists, and there's such a big reblog culture on Tumblr, that people actually see my art and tell me that they like it, and I talk to people all the time who make me want to be part of the community, which goes back into I only stay for me. If someone wants me to stay and I don't want to, I'm not going to. And if someone wants to rip me away from this, they're not going to. Not unless it's something that I want. But that's basically all I have to say, is, like, if perhaps either you're considering quitting the fandom or you're considering joining or getting back into the fandom, setting boundaries with yourself is really the biggest thing. Like, for a while, even while I was making art and, like, engaging, I was like, I'm not a furry again. Like, I'm not going to be part of that community just yet. And then I found sort of like a comfortable, happy medium, and that's sort of where I've been, where I'm like, I'm a furry in the way that, yes, I enjoy and interact with people in the community, but I'm not, like, an all-in fandom person. So, I hope that this was informative, or at least gave you a glimpse of why I'm here, why I'm back, and I hope that this was a good, like, first video to see from me. I hope that you've enjoyed the speed paints going on in the background. They are just some different characters of mine. I think these were all... No, one of them is Strahd, which is my friend's. But yeah, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and enjoy the rest of the speed paints. I'm gonna go now. Goodbye.
You